माय डियर ऑडियंस, मैं आर के शुक्ला आज आपको बताऊंगा सेक्शन 112। इन प्रीवियस वीडियो आई हैव टोल्ड यू सेक्शन 111A and section 112A. In this video I will tell you the section 112, tax on long-term capital gain, which is not covered under section 111A and section 112A. Tax on long-term capital gain is chargeable to tax at the rate of 20%. In some cases, it is at the rate of 10%. Securities covered under section 112 are securities, bond, debentures, government securities. One point should be noted that debenture is not indexed, means there is no indexation of debenture. Debenture is not indexed. So in debenture, when we will calculate capital gain, sale price minus cost of acquisition is equal to long-term capital gain, and it is taxable at the rate of 10%. Debenture long-term gain always be taxable at the rate of 10%. There is no benefit of indexation in case of debenture. Now securities and government securities, if they are listed, then we have the option either to pay 20% tax by making indexation of cost of acquisition, or pay tax at the rate of 10% without making indexation. We calculate tax at the rate of 20% with index cost of acquisition, and we also calculate tax at the rate of 10% without indexation, and comparison is made. The lower tax is paid. For example, suppose with indexation tax liability is rupees 10,000, without indexation tax liability is 5,000, then we will select the option of without indexation. The option is available only when the securities are long term and they are covered under security transaction tax and listed in recognized stock exchange. If securities are not listed, then we will pay the tax at the rate of 20% by making index cost of acquisition. So one thing I want to remind you, that in case of debenture, there will be no indexation, so it is advisable to pay tax on debenture at the rate of 10% without making indexation. My dear friends, section 111A, tax at the rate of 15%, 112A, tax at the rate of 10% by taking exemption of rupees 1 lakh. Under section 112, tax at the rate of 20% or 10%. Select the option 1 or 2. 1 means with indexation, 2 means without indexation, and pay the lower rate of tax. थैंक यू माय डियर ऑडियंस, आप मेरे चैनल को इसी तरह शेयर, लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करते रहें।